Did you know that the way that you're acting is stopping your prayers from being answered? Let me give you an example, right? Let's say you're praying for a relative or someone who's close to you that has a drug problem, an alcohol problem, maybe a relationship problem, something of that sort. And you say, Lord, please help this person. Please take care of them. And then you go out and you start talking to other people and you say, man, I'm just worried about this person. I'm worried, I think they're going to kill themselves. They're just acting crazy. I don't think they're ever going to change. Well, wait a minute. You just gave that to God, and now you're saying you don't believe they're ever going to change. So what you're saying is you don't believe actually anything's going to happen. You're basically taking everything that you've given to God and taking it back into your own hands. That's why God can't take care of it, because you take it back. So stop taking it back. Say you want to make rent. You don't have the money for rent, and you say, Lord, I need the money for rent. I need to make rent this month. And then you go out and you start talking to people, and you say, man, I don't think I'm going to make rent this month. I don't have enough money. I'm always short of money. You start begging people for money. Well, you're taking it back into your own hands. Everything you just gave to God, you're taking back. So stop taking it back. Jesus said in Mark 11, verse 24, that we should believe whenever we pray for something, believe that we receive from God what we pray for when we pray. We don't believe that we've received it when I can see it, but when I pray. That's why in John 20 it says, blessed are those who have not seen and yet believed, because if I can see something, if a couch is right in front of me, I don't need to believe that it's there because I can see it. And there's no faith involved. So I want to give you an example of that. So in Genesis 17, verse 5, God says to Abraham, I have made you a father of many nations. At this point, Abraham had no kids. His wife wasn't pregnant, and they were both super old, right? So there was no hope or anything that they would have a kid. But God is already saying, I have made you a father of many nations. And in Romans 4, that same verse is quoted, and it said right after that, the God who calls things that are not as though they were. And the Bible also says we should be imitators of God, right? So we need to call things that we can't see as though they were, because we believe that when we pray, we receive from God. If we can see it or not, it still happened, and we just need to walk in it. So next time you pray to God, don't start talking unbelief afterwards. Don't take it back to yourself. Say, God's got it. And you say, and if people ask you if you're worried about making rent, you're like, no, I'm not worried about it. God's going to take care of it. Finished. If people start talking bad about this friend or family member of yours, you say, well, God's going to change him. Don't worry, guys. God's working on him. Finished. And then you stop talking unbelief and you walk in faith. You believe that you receive when you pray.